Hello, everybody. It's the old bear from the old bear's den of Bigfoot. I'm a little tired today. We finally got all the snow uh, off the driveway. Uh, anyway, it's it's melting. My wife's happy about that, and I'm happy about that because I just got my truck up here in a week. It's been a week or more since I've had my truck up this driveway. The other one, it got treacherous yesterday. My wife was in the truck. Yeah, I stopped while I was ahead, didn't wreck the truck, so that's a good thing. Anyway, we're here with you today. We want to talk a little bit about a encounter I was telling my better half yesterday. Not from me, from a hunter in Iowa. He called me with this. It's been a few months since this happened to him. Sometime in October, later October, the bow season had started in Iowa. And he's a resident hunter, and he's got some properties that he likes to hunt there in Iowa. And he was out one night, and he's not out to shoot the deer. He can go out and use lights and check the deer. He was actually had a target buck that he wanted to go after. A very nice buck. 10 points and had 2 drop tines. And he's up there where the whitetails get big. And sorry, I'm kind of happy that the driveway's melting, and I'm hot. I'm really hot. This thing right here is burning me up, but it's still cold out here, so I have to wear something. If I didn't wear what I got on, my wife would have probably hit me with a broom or something to make me mind. Yeah, she's got the broom right there beside her. Anyway, this gentleman was out looking around for his target buck. He's got on cameras, and some of the cameras he's put out have been stolen over the years, or at least he thought they were being stolen. And he's out, and he's using a light to look at the deer, and he comes up to this one little field. It's no more than 100 yards long. It's a food plot that he's put out, and it's got clover and timothy. If you know anything about hay, it's got clover and timothy in the field. And so he's shining. He doesn't see the buck, but he sees a couple of little younger bucks that are starting to show some potential. And he's watching them, and he's taking notes. And all of a sudden, he's sitting there and he's shining. And he sees this real big older doe, and she comes out, and she's feeding along. And all of a sudden, she throws her head up, turns, and looks the way she came. And all of a sudden, the rest of the deer just scatter. She doesn't run off. Well, this young, hair-covered Bigfoot, and I do mean young, not a baby, but something my size, 5'10", 6 foot tall, whatever, comes running out. And he looks like the gangly, geeky kid from high school, is the way he described this guy, this creature. And said it comes barreling out of the cover chasing this doe, and this doe runs this thing around the field like it's pure rookie. It's never chased a deer before, and this doe is making it look silly. And it goes on for probably a minute or 2 minutes. And this Bigfoot, he's the deer will change directions, and the Bigfoot slides past where he needs to turn to try to keep up to catch her. and he can't do it. He's just, and it's not snow. It's it's a cool night. It's probably in the 30s or 40s, and the ground's not wet. It hadn't rained, so the Bigfoot just slides past, and she goes and she gets closer to the wood line, and he's sitting there and he's laughing. I mean, he said I was laughing whenever he missed the first time. It kind of slid and fell and got back up and started taking out after her, and it was on all fours, and it was running on all fours with its head up. It wasn't doing the level like spider run. It was using its front legs to stabilize its upper body while its back legs was doing all the power. In other words, he didn't have enough weight on his rear leg, on his legs, on it. And he said I started laughing at this thing. He said it had no clue what it was doing. And he said after about a minute, this doe was starting to pan. She was getting tired, and the Bigfoot started catching up to it when she would take the long straight line, and then she would zig and it would slide, and it was starting to get to the point where it was comical. He said it kind of looked like a clown running in big red shoes after this big white-tailed doe, and said it got to the point where she was evidently getting tired of this game that this Bigfoot was playing, and she ran and cut real quick, and this Bigfoot cut, and when he cut to catch her, ran smack dab into a tree limb. Said it clotheslined him. And the Bigfoot got up and shaking itself, and now he's laughing. And, I asked the question of, well, why didn't you take your camera out or your phone out or something and take a video? He said, I never thought about it. He said, I was laughing too hard at this creature trying to catch this old doe. And it was funny. And he said, when it clotheslined itself, he said, I started laughing so hard I had to get out of the car. I said, well, why'd you get out of the car? He said, because I was about to wet myself from laughing. He was laughing that hard at this Bigfoot. It was just comical to him. It just struck him as super funny, and that's what he said. So after this Bigfoot got up, shook itself, got the cobwebs out of its head, I'd say, it went running after this doe, and she was standing out in the middle of the field, and it cut straight towards her. Well, she took off and it was coming this way. She went that way, and the Bigfoot slid again and spun around, and he had figured out that if he stuck his front hands on the ground, he could grab a hold and swing himself around. Well, when he done that, he was catching her and got to the other end of the field, and she made a sharp right-hand turn towards the road, and that Bigfoot went to catch itself, and it slammed right smack dab right into a tree in its face. It said it was laying there on the ground, flopping around, and he got out of the car, and he said, get up and try again. So at this point, the doe notices the guy sitting there. She's noticed the light the whole time, and she heard him, and she took off running towards the other end of the field. And he said at that point, this big male, he said it didn't have any breasts and big male stepped out, walked over, like it was disgusted with this young male, and reached down, picked him up by the back of his head and his hair, right there at the back of his head, and just threw him across his shoulder and smacked him on the butt and walked off in the woods with him, and didn't pay any attention to the man standing outside the car about to wet himself, because he was standing there cross-legged trying to keep from laughing so hard at this escapade of this young Bigfoot. And I understand that it's a rite of passage with these creatures to catch their first deer, but this young guy, this young Bigfoot, failed miserably. And I was telling my Mrs. Bear last night, and she laughed about it so hard, and she's trying to contain her laughter now, and she's doing pretty good, a lot better than she was last night. She almost had tears in her eyes last night. So y'all leave me some comments, tell me what you think about this. So this is an escapade of Bigfoot, so that's probably going to be the title of this one, The Escapades of a Young Bigfoot. And I hope you enjoy it. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. And I'm not going to ask you for a thumbs up, but tell me what you think. And that's all I ask. Y'all have it's Sunday. Y'all have a blessed day. And may the Lord watch over you each and every day of your lives. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.